So I'm Jesse McMillan.
And I'm Ariane Kelsey.
And we both worked at VICA, which is the Valley Industry and Commerce Association. And I was in the fall semester and she was in the current spring semester. Alright, so the mission of VICA is to enhance the economic vitality of the greater San Fernando Valley region by advocating for a better business climate and quality of life. What this means is that it's a business advocacy organization. So businesses in the San Fernando Valley become members, and then VICA speaks on their behalf, basically. Okay, so they take input from members. So different members, based on what that business is going to give different input. So for example, the Bob Hope Airport is going to give input based on their experiences, while AT&T can give different types of input. So they have a regular presence at all levels of government. So sometimes the president is going to be in Sacramento, while sometimes he's going to be at city council. So they're constantly involved with the politicians. And they use this access to public officials to ensure that the business perspective is heard. So they have an insight that they're inside the door, basically.
So VICA divides kind of into different committees. There's land use, transportation, aviation, healthcare, EENU, education, and government affairs. And each of these different committees kind of focuses on that particular area. So like he talked about the Bob Hope Airport, they'd probably be part of the aviation committee and make sure that so that way their business perspective gets heard in that committee. And then it's made up of 300 different members, or about that. And some include Wells Fargo, AT&T, Bank of America, Bob Hope Airport, Bonds, and US Bank.
Okay, so the office environment. There are 6 total employees, not including ourselves. And though I want to say we really felt like we were a part of the office. We felt like we were an equal member, and we were really treated with respect from day one. And the environment is relaxed, and I'm going to sound cliche and say questions were welcome, but they were really welcome. They didn't blow it off. They sat down with you no matter how many times, and they really worked with you. And
to make sure we got whatever we were doing, they would make sure we understood, so that way we were doing it correctly.
And we didn't ask many questions in the future.
Okay, so officially our mentor is Jessica Yasukochi, who's the vice president, and she kind of does a little bit of everything at VICA. She works in VICA finance, but kind of is involved in every aspect. But or at least I mostly worked with Monique, and she's the executive assistant, and with her did stuff such as data entry, create files, create stuff for different meetings, like board meetings, call board members, just do different things to help the office keep running.
So when I was there last semester, I actually worked with Monique most of the time, but when I was there, Maya Zeldler was the legislative affairs manager, and I spent a good deal amount of time working with her on Hello? I spent a good deal amount of time working with Maya. So on different propositions, different issues, I would do a lot of reading, and I would write about it for different board members and just for members as a whole. And I would fax invitations, and I would call members to get their response on an invitation. So what's it like? Oh, excuse me. What we learned. Again, cliche, we learned what it's like to be in a real office, and that's something you can't learn until you're actually in a real office. And again, we really were a part of it. And I was fortunate enough to be there during the 2010 state election. So I learned a lot about the propositions and Governor Brown and the propositions. Proposition 23 was to repeal this bill called AB 32, which was an environmental bill. And Prop 19 is the marijuana bill. And they are so complex that the commercials I've never taken a political commercial seriously since. These are such complex issues that it's not a yes or no. And that's something you don't learn unless you read packets about all that stuff.
So as well as that, we learned kind of the role of an advocacy group. And before going to VICA and working there, I really didn't know what it did, very much of what it did. I kind of had an idea, but it really, being in the office and hearing the different things they do and seeing the different stuff that they did really helped me get insight on what an advocacy group did. And then we also learned about member relations, working with different people. Like, we had to call people that we've never met before, and be able to represent the office and talk to them about something that's going on. And then also, we learned a lot about the importance of reviewing work. You have to go over and stuff to make sure that, especially in that kind of environment, it needs to be gone over and over, so that way you make sure that it's the right way. You don't want to spell someone's name wrong for if they're on the board of directors, you know, since they're So that was something, that's pretty much what we learned.
Okay, so I'm going to speak for both of us and say that it was an incredible experience, that it's something we're probably never going to forget, and we were both interested in politics before we went to this, and now we're fascinated with politics, we're fascinated with the inner workings of government, and it's because we were on the other side. We really saw something that we would never have seen. And just a couple of interesting things. She attended a state office holders dinner, and I attended a board meeting, which was amazing because we spent all this time typing in people's names, making name cards, calling their offices, emailing them, and we actually met them and had conversations with them, and we could connect the face to a name. And again, being part of an office, we heard conversations between coworkers. We heard Monique's laughing. We heard things about a proposition maybe, or something that happened in a board meeting that wasn't on the papers, and it was cool to see the behind the scenes of a business and the personal side of it. And we just want to finish by saying thank you so much, Monique. We had so much fun at VICA. It's something we'll never forget, and you can thank the rest of the office for us.
Thank you.